In addition to our core certification offer, which includes a team of certification experts and inspectors, we also provide a range of other benefits to support businesses operating in the organic space. And one of those is providing market insight and intelligence. And we've just recently launched our 2025 Organic Market Report. And I just wanted to share a few highlights from this before handing over to our first speaker. So we're pleased to report that the organic market is now in its 13th consecutive year of growth. In 2024, the organic food and drink market grew by 7.3%, and it now totals £3.7 billion in the UK. We have seen growth across all organic channels, namely independent retail, where organic sales grew by around 9%. Major retails, the supermarkets, which saw value growth at 8%, and this accounts for around 65% of all organic sales made in the UK, so hugely important channel. And home delivery, which had more modest growth at 3%, but again, home delivery and box schemes remain a hugely important channel for organic sales, representing around 15% of all organic sales in the UK. We have some slightly more granular detail on sales made through major retail. And we're pleased to report that the growth in organic sales through major retail outperformed the growth in non-organic, 8% in value terms, but 4.7% in volume terms. So it actually grew 4 times more than non-organic in volume terms. The volume figure is really important, as it really is that true indicator of growth and a good kind of indicator of potential and momentum for the sector. We've seen good category growth across the majority of organic categories, namely ambient grocery, fresh produce, and meat, fish, and poultry. But I just wanted to pull out a few quick highlights on some of the ambient grocery and meat, fish, and poultry trends, as these are probably the most relevant to the organic arable sector. And these are only relevant for major retail. We don't have this granular level of detail of some of the other channels. But we're really pleased to report that organic home baking, so your organic flours, they account for around £54 million worth of sales in 2024 through supermarkets, saw just shy of 12% volume growth. Similar level of growth seen across organic cereals such as your oats and morning goods, and organic bread and bakery, again, just shy of 10% volume increase in 2024 through major supermarkets. We know that new research from the Organic Research Centre shows that 67% of consumers are intentionally buying organic at least once every 3 weeks. And they're buying organic because they recognise it to be high quality, safe and healthy food, which is increasingly aligning with some of their key concerns. And just a few quick notes on organic meat, fish and poultry trends. So the collective category accounts for just shy of £200 million worth of sales in 2024 through the supermarkets, and saw 6.6% volume growth and higher value growth at 12.9%. With the main uplifts being driven from the organic poultry sector at just shy of 20% volume growth, organic lamb at 11.3% volume growth, and organic beef, which accounts for around £57 million worth of sale and accounting for 6.5% volume growth. And we know that retailers are making organic meat products more available on shelf, and that the consumer trend towards less and better quality meat, fish and poultry is really helping to drive some of the uplifts within this sector. Final note from me before we hand over to Tom Wood from Rob and Appel is that the growth in organic farmland isn't currently keeping pace with the growth that we're seeing in the organic market. And we do feel that in certain sectors, where there is a clear market opportunity and where there is funding of that kind of funding incentive as well, there is definitely room for more domestic production. One glimmer of hope is that just talking on behalf of us as a certification body, we have seen the amount of land that we certify that's in conversion actually more than double over the last year. Still coming from a slightly small base, but we'd really hope to see that trend continue going forward. We are seeing a rising interest from farmers in organic and nature-friendly farming, which is really positive to see. And within certification, we do see organic as being the gold standard for sustainable farming. It's independently audited and verified. It's the standards are legally underpinned, so it does protect against greenwashing. And we know that it delivers on some key benefits: 30% more biodiversity on average on organic farms, and healthy soils with 25% more carbon storage and more soil microorganisms. So we'd love to see more of this, but more of these benefits delivered on domestic soil. So hopefully that tees us up nicely for our first speaker, Tom Wood from Robin Appel. I'd like to invite Tom to come on to camera now. So Tom is the trading director for Robin Appel. He's responsible for all crops, so he has a great overview of all commodities and market opportunities. He has worked for the business for over 15 years, and he's really helped drive growth in the organic sector specifically, and now trading in excess of 35,000 tonnes of domestically produced organic arable crops currently in the UK. So Tom, you are there. Sorry, it was my cat. I couldn't quite see you there.
I'm here.
My screen. Can you just start by telling us a bit more about Robin Appel and its role in organic arable supply chains?
Of course I can. And thank you for the opportunity, Sophie, to be here. And with those growth numbers, which is an incredible success, just to quickly jump in, we do need to get more land producing arable crops. If you're 10% up on home baking and morning goods, there's a huge opportunity. So I think it's really exciting. So yeah, welcome everyone, and thank you for the opportunity. Robin Appel Limited has been, well, it's a traditional grain merchant, but I would suggest we're more of a supply chain management company, which is probably a better way of looking at our whole ethos with how we work with the organic market. We've been around for 45 years, and we are still going strong and firmly independent. But our niche or our expertise probably is the niche crops, whether it's be peas, beans, organics, oats, malting barley, the bit that needs a bit more detail than just the commodity trading. And I think that's where my passion or my enthusiasm for organics came when I joined the business nearly 15 years ago, because there is a huge opportunity here. It's a great industry to be part of. And as you said, Sophie, on my intro, we've gone from we were doing probably 10,000 tons of organic grain in 2000, so 25 years ago, when Robin Appel actually purchased or acquired Warminster Maltings. And they were buying Spanish organic barley in to malt, and Robin said, "Well, we produce the best barley in some of from around the world here." So that's how we entered into the organics in 2000, and we've gradually grown that, and now we're doing in excess of 35,000, which is fantastic. Mainly the core crops, so we do a third is wheat, a third is barley, and a third of oats, and then a little bit of the more specialist spelts, rye, peas, beans, and those sorts of things. So our the organic sector to us as a business is hugely important, and it's one that I sort of cherish, to be honest with you. And we've plateaued. We've sort of not grown much recently, and I think now is the time. The conventional markets in a bit of doldrums at the moment on commodity prices, which I'll put up a slide later. And actually the demand is there for organic, and there's a real opportunity which we need to try and grab. And I'm delighted to hear your in conversion area has doubled this year, and we need to continue to do that going forward.
Definitely, yeah, really interesting, and to hear about your kind of specialist interest in organic or more niche crops, and also the kind of level of experience and expertise you have, but also the fact that you're not growing, but there's this huge kind of demand and opportunity there. So yeah, it'd be great just to hear a bit more really about what the market opportunity is currently like for organic arable farmers from your perspective.
I'm not sure whether it's, I'll use the word regen or Clarkson's or whoever. There has been a real sea change in, and those categories we talked about at the start with a 10% increase, they've been in the doldrums for a little bit. You know, there haven't really been the demand on the home baking. It's been sort of fairly flat for many years. So it's fantastic that actually those are, they're right what we're supplying, whether it's milling oats, whether it's milling wheat, those sorts of markets. So there's a huge opportunity, and the consumers driving it. You know, they are wanting, whether it's provenance, whether it's organic, you know, there's just a need and a demand. So it's fantastic where we are. The one thing that we have to be mindful of is that we quickly noticed we did a partnership with Cam Grain probably 10 years ago now, where the organics is fantastic, but we are having some further problems with admixtures and those sorts of things. So we are having to deal with them, whether we colour sort, whether we clean, whether we bulk and blend. So there's opportunities if on farm that's a sort of holding you back on your decision making. There's options out there to do collection at harvest, bulk and blend, so that we can pull together. So we do pull marketing, we do lots of different options, in short. But there is a great commitment. We put about 10,000 tons of organic cereals into Cam Grain at harvest, and that gives us the flexibility of supply and guarantee of supply to customers, which is what they want throughout the whole 12 months. So where else are we? There's with regard to the opportunity of the market, we are not self-sufficient as it stands at the moment. We import, I hate to say it, and import a very large number of organic cereals, mainly wheat, and mainly for either high-grade milling, which we struggle to get protein, but there's a challenge for Jerry and his team. You know, how do we increase our quality of the wheat we're producing, but also mainly for animal feed. So, you know, there is an opportunity to displace those imports. And so the fear of will we ever oversupply the organic market with domestic product, we're far from it. And actually, if the growth continues at the same time and our land doesn't, we're going to actually get worse and worse. So yeah, that's where it will be. We export quite a lot of organic malting barley and milling oats as well. So just because we import doesn't mean we then don't export and look for new markets. Yeah, we're just outstripping, you know, demand is not following at the moment. So yeah, any advice, any varietal advice, market advice, it was probably my bit that we need to latch onto in getting farmers on message. It's a really sort of important supply chain message, that to understand who wants what varieties are accepted, and then I don't think there's anything holding it back.
Great. And in terms of the you know, the kind of focus of the webinar, really, yes, it's about market opportunities, and also we've got that financial focus as well. And you mentioned about kind of prices, and I know that you've got a slide as well, so I don't know whether this is the time to flash that up.
Pull it up and yeah,
and good to kind of hear from your point of view, I guess, what that what financially how it could stack up, and what the prices are looking like. So
sure. So these are, just for absolute clarity, these are spot prices, ex-farm in the Midlands at the moment. As a guide, they might be a pound or two out because I gave you the numbers a few days ago. So for anyone on here who's conventional farming and says my values aren't quite right, just as a guide and more of a talking point. Now, it's pretty obvious that the premiums at the moment are pretty lumpy, and that is suggesting that the supply is just not sufficient. So we're having to pay bigger premiums. Hopefully that then incentivise farmers to convert and look at coming in. Rule of thumb is a £100 premium over organic is the minimum. Anything over that, I mean, if we look, for instance, on the milling oats, it's over double that, which is nearly a £200 premium, which is fantastic, and actually it's reflected on most of the crops, feed, wheat. So I think the market forces in everything is supply versus demand on every market that you trade and deal in. And at the moment, this is your trigger point. This is your highlight to go with the conventional, especially right now in a bit of the doldrums. That's got pretty messy on the old crop position, hence why the values are as weak as they are on some commodities. So it's the complete opposite on organics. You know, we've run out of organic malting barley, we've run out of milling oats. You know, that should be enough to give growers confidence, I guess.
Great, thanks, Tom, for that. And also in conversion prices, because there can be a premium in the marketplace there as well. So and yeah, but most all farms that are converting, that are heading towards organic, have to go through the conversion period, a period of 2 years where they have to manage their land to organic standards before they can market or sell their product as organic. That can be reduced by 4 months if you can demonstrate that your land has been managed to organic standards before that point. But yes, it's that time, I guess, when you're managing your land to organic standards, but you're not getting that necessarily that organic premium. But I'm aware that there can be kind of uplifts in conversion.
Correct. Yeah, there is. And just to be clear, it's not in the first year. So the first year we can't pay a premium, but second year in conversion. And I'm sure there's a certified, but some of your certifying team on here, I'm sure I've got this right. Second year is classed as in conversion, and you can sell it as second year in conversion. And normally, and this is very sort of fag packet, it'll be about a 20 to £30 discount to the organic feed price. So it is quite a premium over the conventional, as a bit of an uplift. Sorry, I should have probably put some income values on that chart, but on that table, but I didn't.
Yeah, thank you. That's great. And just I think we could chat for ages, but just in kind of thinking about time, just to finish off, how can you support both new or new entrants to organic, or existing farmers as well who are looking for kind of different supply opportunities?
Advice, general sort of marketing advice. Varieties is really important. Getting them close. It's not like it's the conventional market. It's not liquid. It's very illiquid. So you really got to have a really good understanding of what you're trying to do, what markets you're trying to aim for. I would always advise aim for the premium markets, because then if it fails, you can drop down to the to the feed grade, and then you might get a premium, which is fantastic. We can do 1, 2, 3 year contracts. We can do anything that really will support growers in trying to share the risk. The one bit that is more challenging is you have less control, as an organic grower. So your variability in yield and quality is a slight balancing act. But yeah, we would support, and we have access to lots of in conversion markets should growers want to come in.